All right, I guess we should get started today. Happy Monday. How are y'all doing? Let's see how this looks. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Did I hear it? As in your idea? No. No, I didn't. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone's weekend was well. Gardening. Now I heard it. Thank you very much for subscribing to Coffee. Thank you very much for subscribing to Coffee. You know, it's going to make things tricky. Okay, never mind. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I have, you know, the credits I've been testing out at the end of the stream. The Coffee ones are actually manually generated. So, I need to find an automated way of doing it. It's one thing that Coffee doesn't have is like an export or something. But thank you for subscribing to the NES subscription tier. Generosity means a lot, Gardening. Thank you. I heard it. I heard it. Very cool. Yeah, you do make me do all the manual work. What's the one thing with Coffee is it doesn't have like a, at least I've not found one yet, a way to export your subscribers or anything, or actually, do they have an API? Not that I know how to use them. I think they do have an API. They do have an API. Maybe there's a way to use that. I might have to hire someone to actually do that. That was the only thing. Just because the credits that I roll, they're manual. I create it in After Effects. I export it. So technically speaking, I can't really do it on the day that someone subscribes, if that makes sense. Add their name to it. But if I could somehow get a text file exported, then I could. Maybe. I have to figure it out. Anyway. That just made me think of it. Thank you. Thank you, though. Coffee means a lot, though. Speaking of coffee. Appreciate it. How's the week going so far? How's the week going so far? Oh, we have Shadow. Where's that? Where's that even coming from, that shadow? Bear with me. You woke up by falling out of bed. That's interesting. Should we ask questions? Dave, how you doing? Should we ask questions on that garden? If I bring the light this way. Okay, that doesn't make sense. You're good? I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. I'm doing all right. Just fixing this light for a second. Just bear with me. Getting artifacts on the green screen. You were asleep. You're drinking tea and subscribing to Coffee. Well, you know, whatever works. Whatever works. How was your weekend, Dave? It's just a little bit loud in my ears at the moment. We're doing some tests today. Not tests that you need to be worried about, but we skipped some frames there during transition. Interesting. I got a new graphics card over the weekend. So I'm testing it out. We're not going to put it under much stress, but I was approached by a game developer about doing a sponsored spot for a new game coming out next week, and my old graphics card wasn't going to run it. I spoke to them about it, and in the end, we had the availability to get a new graphics card, so I did. So we may have it's a new game next week. It looks very interesting. We'll see if it happens now, because I've gone back to them now and I've gone, actually, I got a new graphics card and it should work. But we'll see. We'll see. I might have lost that opportunity, but we'll see. New graphics card, some assembly may be required. Well, it's assembled. It's assembled. I also got a new stand for the camera, so it's a slightly different angle, but it should be relatively close to what it was before. The stand I had the camera on before was not good. very limited. It was stuck in this one spot where I couldn't remove it. I couldn't change the angle, and like it was just not good. So new camera stand. Yeah, that was ultimately my weekend. I also replaced our internet router because you know how we had those random disconnects and just weird internet stuff with the router. Well, I upgraded the network earlier in the year, which resolved some of the problems, but we still had those random disconnects where just internet would just drop for all devices, random points of the day. They were just Crackle being bored. No, because they happened while she was working, which was not overly professional. So I'd be, doing work around the house or whatever. She'd be in the middle of a voice call, and all of a sudden she's like, "The internet's out again." Restart the router, and it took ages to reboot as well, that old one. This one here, it would take fucking ages to reboot. It was just a pain in the ass. I think I know what the problem was with it disconnecting the internet, but I replaced it. And so far, we haven't had any problems. But time will tell, because it was very random. It'd be, you'd go a couple days, it'd be fine. Then another day it would disconnect like 12 times in a day. That's how you get out of answering questions. That's true. Now it's high-tech Frisbee. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be a great Frisbee. The antennas come off. Maybe they would make great wings, because you can kind of like, I don't know. Either way, this will find another home. This will find another home, and it probably won't be us. Probably won't be with us anyway. Stabby items? Yeah. Either way, spent a lot of money on that router. Spent a lot of money on that router. All the reviews were great. It turns out it's got an inherent problem that apparently everyone deals with for it. And Netgear, the makers of it, don't even acknowledge the problem. So instead, I bought a router for cheaper than what that was originally, and it's meant to be better. It's actually a business router. It should be more stable. It's great. You just have to deal with this list of 27 items. Yeah. That's ultimately it. Master Chief, how you doing? Happy Monday. Yeah, it's an annoying problem. 2:20 a.m. Well, it's 1:20 p.m. for me. 2:20 a.m. Jesus. It's what are you doing up at 2:20? Just makes me feel tired thinking about it. But no, with that router, like, it's got great reviews, like internet wide. It's not until you find forums and stuff where people are people who have been dealing with it for like a year, and these problems are constant. That sort of stuff, when you test it for a month, those problems don't come up. I do have New Zealand in the tags because I am a New Zealander. Despite I'm not living in New Zealand right now, but yeah, that makes sense. The 2:20 a.m. That would explain it. It was my assumption, but I didn't want to. I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to assume. They kicked me out of New Zealand. Well, why did it cost me so much if they kicked me out, Garland? Why did it cost so much? That doesn't seem like the way it works. If they're going to kick you out of the country, usually it's on their expense. You're on the East Coast? I mean, I'm east from you. I'm definitely east from you. Because I resisted? Sure. We'll say, yeah. We'll say yes to that. Let's see what they think when it comes to us going back. If they're going to say no. I mean, they're saying no at the moment, but there's a different reason for that. There's a different reason for that. We won't talk about it. But I'm pretty sure it's not a resistance. Let's just move on, shall we? Let's move on. We got a lot to talk about today. They finally got rid of me. Why would they take you back? They will take me back. Master Chief, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Dome. They will take me back, Garden. They will take both of us back, me and Crackle. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What's the day? 1st of November. Pinch and a punch for the 1st of the month. Make sure you pinch and punch yourselves. I've already done it, so I don't have to do it again. Hey, Twitchy. They'll take Crackle and I'll get smuggled in. It's fine. That means it's free for me, isn't it? If I get smuggled in, I'm not. You don't pay to be smuggled. Well, actually, you do pay to be smuggled, don't you? It's fine. I'll take a smuggling. Smuggling? Sure. Where am I going with this? You just chilling here in the future? I know. Can you let me know the lotto numbers, Master Chief, when you can? Can you let me know the lotto numbers when they come out? Cheers. Every day I'm smuggling. Let's not. No, don't take that as a quote. Don't take that as a quote. Thank you. Twitchy, how you doing? How's your weekend? Hopefully relaxing. Yeah, 1st of November. That means a couple things. 2 months until, the new year. Clearly. That means the Neo fundraiser is closed. If you haven't seen the announcement in the Discord or on Twitter, I closed up the Neo tribute fundraiser. We raised £350 in like 2 weeks. £350 for cash protection. Thank you very much, everyone, for the generosity. No, not November. There is that as well. Yes. There is that as well. Mm-hmm. That's meant to start on the 1st, right? Yeah. Or what was it? Movember. If anyone's doing that, Movember as well. Your weekend was good, especially since you got a very cuddly dog sleeping next to you. Oh, nice. Do we get pictures in Discord, Twitchy? Of the dog, of course. Of the dog. That's all that matters. But no, glad to hear it was a good weekend. Yeah, other than the tech work. Other than the tech work, there wasn't really much on our side. We went for a walk up to the town near us. We stopped at a market that happens every weekend, and there was a Greek food stall. So we got like big gyros for lunch with feta fries, which I didn't know what feta fries were, but it's literally just fries with crumbled feta on top, which was actually really good. But man, the gyros, I could go back to Greece just for that. Mirror, how you doing? How was your stream earlier? You have a cat purring in your ear. Very nice. Everyone's got their pets. Everyone's got their pets with them, temporary or otherwise. But yeah, I saw you were streaming earlier. Hopefully it went well. You've still got the what do you call it? The sports sponsorship from Twitch, right? Going on. How long is that for? Out of curiosity. Is that meant for the rest of 2021? I don't know. I can't remember the details on it. But hopefully that's still going for it. Yeah, weather's getting shit here. That's about it as well. That's about it. Stream went well, nice. Second contract runs out at the end of the year. All right, very cool. I'm assuming it's only a 2021 thing that they're doing this for anyway. Be cool if they carried it on there. If they do it some more. We'll see, considering everything that's going on, right? We'll see. We'll see. Take a look at this. If it will do this. Yet again, I go to the Twitch front page. This premium content is not available in your region. This has happened twice now. Get a better region. Twitch knows what region I'm in. Why are they serving stuff I can't watch? Because this is Spanish, apparently. It's sports, but it's Spanish. Why are they serving Spanish stuff to a non-Spanish region? We're not the EU anymore, Twitch. Like, didn't you follow the voting? Jesus. Anyway, this is the second week. Let's see if it's still here after I've refreshed a few times. I've had this up for like an hour. For your second, you thought I said spam fish. Definitely did not say spam fish, no. 3 months per contract, and as far as you know, is just for this year. Don't know if the powers that be are going to give them the budget for another year. It'd be nice if they kept up with that sort of community stuff. Especially for something like sports, right? They want sports to be a constant on Twitch. It'd be great to keep those schemes going, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Other people get to experience region discrimination. Yeah, it's not the first time Twitching. It's really weird that they serve stuff that doesn't work in this region. Within this region. It's a very specific region that they cater to otherwise. Anyway, we'll move on. Well, yeah. So sports and music are something very, very much that Twitch is trying to keep going, right? Sports and music. So it wouldn't really make sense. The only reason reasons they don't have the budget to keep sponsoring channels like yours for the sports stuff, or sports becomes established enough on Twitch that they don't need to keep sponsoring it to like boost it up, or they realize that sports isn't going to be a big thing on Twitch, which I don't think is true. But you know, those would be the reasons that I can imagine they wouldn't carry it on. But who knows? We don't know Twitch. The boost the stream thing is still going ahead. It's still an experiment, but they've continued on with the experiment despite all of the hate that the communities are making about it. They still are going ahead with that. So who knows what they're thinking, right? Who knows what they're thinking? So anyway. Is that a fish that smells like spam? You love it because it finally made you stop spending money on the platform? What? Boost the stream, but it costs money. It costs money. As I said before, by the way, thank you to everyone. If you haven't seen the tweet anyway, thank you to everyone who donated towards cats protection during the little tribute fundraiser thing that Crackle and I started up in replacement of Neo's birthday, for Neo's birthday. Since we can't spoil him, we spoiled a bunch of other cats by donating towards cats protection. Thank you very much for your generosity. It means a lot. Appreciate it. Just thought I'd make an actual note of that one. A heads up for any streamers or content creators. A heads up. Launching on November 2nd, US November 2nd, by the way, is something called SolarStream. Now, SolarStream is a Streamer Square resource, which is run by Loco, if you don't know her. No idea what this is going to be. Launch your stream towards new horizons, right? So Streamer Square, if you're not familiar with Streamer Square, is all about providing information and help to streamers, right? It is a source of information, tutorials, all this sort of stuff. And it's been relatively a good resource for streamers all around. Some notable people involved in Streamer Square. As part of that, this SolarStream is launching. And again, there's quite some notable people involved in regards to SolarStream. None of which are actually saying what they're doing. But notable streamers, notable names in regards to the streamer space are involved with this. But no information provided yet on what SolarStream's actually going to do. So we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow US time. It should be around now, I think, that it gets announced. So if you're curious, SolarStream GG on Twitter. Keep an eye out for it. I'm curious to see what it will actually be. More resources to streamers is the better, right? That's what we need, though. Now to boring data stuff. God, the white is so bright. Boring data stuff. Exciting data stuff to me, anyway. We did Stream Elements Q3 report last week. Now I got Streamlabs Q3 report. Streamlabs is always like a week later. Maybe they wait for Stream Elements to shoot their shot, and then they're like, hey, we'll put ours out there. Not that it's much different. Not that it's much different. Total hours watched. Let's go through some of the... Facebook gaming overtakes YouTube gaming in hours watched. It's a little disturbing, right? I'll just put this in chat for anyone to read who's interested. Facebook gaming overtakes YouTube gaming in hours watched. Terrible. Facebook gaming is only platform to increase hours watched. Facebook probably just embedded streams. Probably. Well, soon we won't be calling it Facebook. We'll be calling it Meta. That's a whole different thing. Just chatting is most watched category across all streaming platforms. Again, no surprise. MetaBook. The amount of people who are like, the names are very fitting because technically speaking, they're going to be selling all your metadata to companies. So, they're kind of just putting it out there in the open about what they're going to be doing, right? Selling your metadata. FYI. Anyway. Still think it's your data? Well, no, now it's everyone's data. Or whoever wants to pay for it anyway. Twitch experiences a year-over-year decrease in unique channels. There's a couple of reasons, potentially, for that. YouTube gaming placing big bets on streamer acquisition. Yes. Yeah, anyway. I mean, we won't go too far with that because that's what Mixer said, but see how that went. Total hours watched. Facebook gaming has overtaken YouTube gaming. What the F is with that? YouTube probably paid some big name streamers just like Mixer. Probably. Twitch still has that major market share, obviously, but Facebook taking over? Then what? Apparently Meta sounds like dead in Hebrew. Yeah, apparently it does. You think a lot of channel decrease on Twitch is them getting rid of the fake accounts? Potentially, as well as people who have... There have been people who have moved to YouTube gaming in reaction to Tim the Tabman, Dr. Lupo moving as well. There's always people who will follow thinking it's better. I know some people who have made the move over to YouTube. Good on them. Facebook gaming, this is apparently because they could embed views that autoplay as well as click views. Exactly as someone said, Barbie. And that is very true. The way the Facebook feed works, yeah, if it's embedded, we've spoken about how the embeds work in benefit for people. So yeah, it probably is kind of that way. You've also moved to YouTube? This is just figment of your imagination? Okay. Well, thanks to my figment of my imagination subscribing to coffee today. Thank you for the shout out, Twitchy. Barbie, how you doing, by the way? How's your weekend? Total hours streamed. Just look at this, right? Facebook gaming is apparently 2%, just under 2%. 1.9% higher in regards to hours watched than YouTube gaming, but requires 3.5% more hours streamed to get it. Is that a good return? There's a lot more streaming going on Facebook to get a small amount of added hours watched. You know what that tells me though? Not as many people watching for the amount of people streaming is what that tells me. You're expecting a hangover today, but no. Well, that's a good thing then. Congrats. Twitch also has, huge market share here as well, but that's not really surprising. But yeah, considering, Facebook has more hours watched, considerably more hours streamed compared to YouTube gaming. So it's While Facebook's going to cheer on this, and anyone who supports Facebook gaming be like, yeah, it's like, yeah, but it requires a lot more. So is it really better? Is it really better? Anyway, top esports watched. Don't really care, but there you go. Publishers watched. This will be GTA 5. Had its resurgence. Just Chatting is the highest one watched. No surprise there, right? Always will be. Always will be. GTA 5 roleplay is huge. Yeah, it is. It is. And that's why you see it here as well for hours watched. I don't know why. It's not my sort of thing, but you know, for a while Minecraft RP was huge. Seems GTA 5 RP has taken over it. You know, whatever people love watching. Whatever people love watching. Key takeaways. For the first time, Facebook gaming overtakes YouTube gaming. But we spoke about that. It's the only platform to experience an increase in hours watched. We saw this above anyway. YouTube improving stream functionality and placing big bets on streamer acquisition. Well, I mean, this isn't news, but new functionality is coming, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Did a 3-month experiment earlier this year where you streamed on Facebook and YouTube. Most of your views were of the VODs and not while you were live. Interesting. Do you get like a VOD thing on Facebook as well, do you? I suppose it kind of makes sense in a way when you think about it. The problem with being live, so live on Twitch, for example, is only the people who can make it to stream while I'm live can view it, right? But you've got the majority of the day outside of that time where heaps of other people can make it. So it's what YouTube is kind of banking on in regards to its live streams. The live streams just go into your library or your videos, so people can catch up on it at any point. So it technically becomes evergreen content. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. There's more time outside of your stream for people to watch the VOD than there are people, or then there is the time for people to actually join you while you're live, right? So in a way, it kind of makes sense, and that's what YouTube's all about. One of the bonuses of YouTube, anyway. So YouTube is improving mod tools, yeah, along with a few other things. Which we'll get to. Throughout 2021, Twitch has managed to retain much of the momentum, right? However, we're starting to see an overall growth. Starting to see the overall growth of the platform begin to decline. Why is that? It's very easy to tell. Right? Total hours watched. Right? We had like first, what do you call it? COVID lockdown, right? COVID lockdown, time watched skyrockets. And it goes up gradually again up until Q2 2021, and now it's falling. Why is that? In most areas, people are going back to work, and it's been summertime for some, anyway. So yeah, of course this is gonna decline, right? Over here in the UK, a lot of people are going back to work and all this sort of stuff between Q2 and Q3 in the UK alone, but the US and many other countries. So yeah, this is expected. This was always going to happen. And we'll probably see as the world normalizes again, you'll probably see that continue. Although, we're coming up to winter, so people are going to go out less. You might see it spike up a little bit, but I'd say in general, it's going to continue to decline. No real surprising insights in regards to that. Total hours streamed, exactly the same thing. Although the decline's been starting from Q1. A lot of people taking up streaming, similar to here, right? A lot of people taking up streaming that weren't streamers before, but they were in lockdown. Twitch's popularity grew immensely, so a lot more people heard about Twitch that hadn't heard of it before and thought they could, while in lockdown, they'll take up streaming. And it's not for them, and they're going back to work, and, they'd rather watch than stream themselves. And again, this is kind of expected. The world's going to become a damn normie again. I mean, I wouldn't say normie, but relatively normal at some point. So yeah, again, this is all expected. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned in the past when we've looked at these stats, like, this is going to happen. It's going to decline. And Twitch no doubt knew that as well. Unique channels? Unsurprising. Right. This is streamed channels. It's not necessarily getting rid of channels or channels closing down. This is just unique channels that have streamed. Again, it pretty much matches this decline rate. It's like exactly the same graph. What a surprise. What a surprise. It's exactly the same. We should all be staying at home more and going out less. I agree. I agree. Average viewership. It's the same as this guy. Total hours watched. What a surprise. It's the exact same track as this one. No real surprise here. Facebook gaming. Facebook gaming. Total hours watched per quarter. Total hours streamed. Interesting that we've got this huge drop off, but yet total hours watched is going up. Again, like you say about the embeds, like Barbie said about the embeds, are the watched hours really watched hours, or is it simply that the embed is playing on a browser or you know, an app, and that counts as a view? That's an interesting question. You know, Twitch uses the embed stuff to benefit themselves as well. It wouldn't surprise me if Facebook does the same. But yeah, big drop off. Are they counting VOD views? Don't know. Don't know. They don't tell us. They don't tell us. And that could be a significant difference between what we see with like Twitch versus YouTube versus Facebook, right? Are VOD views counted? We don't know. Generally speaking, you don't watch the VODs on Twitch. Like, rarely anyone watches VODs on Twitch. YouTube and Facebook are more of a medium where you do watch the VOD, and that can make a significant difference in regards to watch hours. But we don't know. So it might not be a straight comparison anymore. Unique channels. Again, this massive spike during COVID. Notice we didn't have the initial spike, the little drop, and then the big spike again like we did with Twitch, right? We just got this mountain from near the end of 2020, a year ago ultimately. Must have been a big marketing campaign or something. Go from 268,000 unique channels to 1.5 million. But now we're seeing this huge, almost down to what it was. Huge drop off. But yet, right? Unique channels streaming on Facebook. It's less than half, right, of what it was. And yet total hours watched is increasing no matter what. Doesn't really add up. Doesn't really add up. Concurrent viewers, again, it's just going up. It matches the same graph as this one. Hey Babs, how you doing? Happy Monday. It definitely looks sus. Total hours watched. Average CCV going up. Going up. And yet, huge drop off of unique channel streaming. How can Monday be happy? That's I try and at least bring some positivity to a day I know is not going to be positive, Babs. I'm sorry. How are your streams of the weekend, by the way? I saw your Against the Storm stream. Very fun. How was the one yesterday? I didn't manage to catch it. You also had the Vodafone thing, right? Roller coaster like emotions. Yeah. Sasslin, how you doing? Gamma, how you doing? Happy Monday. Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is for you. Mondays are never happy. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that, right? I think we can all agree. For those who have just joined, we're going over how sus these stats are. Hey Bear, how you doing? Going over how sus these stats are for Q3 for the streaming industry. We're talking about Facebook. All right, since a bunch of you have joined, we're talking about Facebook here, right? Facebook is saying we're getting huge growth of live streams. Busy evening ahead with a daughter's guitar lesson. So you're taking some chill time while you can, Sasson. Good job. Good job. Right, Facebook gaming. Total hours watched per quarter. Huge growth up to this point here. But yet, total hours streamed is taking a big nosedive. Unique channels is less than half what it was 2 quarters ago. But average CCV is still accelerating up. Less than a third? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Less than a third. But this and this? It doesn't make sense. Especially the total hours watched. I'm thinking Barbie's right on the embed thing here. It doesn't, no. Facebook gaming overtaking YouTube gaming in regards to hours watched. It doesn't make sense. YouTube. Very similar graph, right? Very similar graph to what we've seen on Twitch and stuff. People going back to work. Can't watch it so much, right? Doesn't add up at all. It doesn't add up, right? It really, really doesn't add up for Facebook. Sus. I don't... until they give how they get these stats, I don't trust it. YouTube, again, like interesting... Total hours streamed per quarter from YouTube has like been dropping off since Q2 2020. Like what? This is interesting. A lot of people took it on at the start of, well, even before COVID. A lot of people taking it on. This doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I feel like more people are taking on YouTube gaming later in 2021 than what they were doing earlier. You know, I've heard a lot more about people transitioning over to it. So this seems just a weird graph. Unique channels, same sort of track as this, right? Total hours streamed, the unique channels is pretty much going to match it in a similar sort of fashion. Again, like dropping off. Don't you blindly believe graphs? Never blindly believe graphs. Never blindly believe graphs. Top esports, we saw this before. Just chatting is, you know, no surprise here anyway. Yeah, but that's about it. Either way, that's the Q3 from Streamlabs. I'm not the only one bringing up questions about Facebook. I've seen other people reviewing this and questioning it as well. I'm not the only one. Number of people transferring over is canceled by the number quitting after not getting big from one stream. I mean, there's definitely going to be those sort of people. Barbie, why the increase in YouTube gaming took a spike way over here in 2020 and has just been in a decline ever since? It seems strange. They've been really pushing YouTube gaming a lot in 2021, and we're seeing a lot of people migrate over, especially when we look at the big names moving over as well. People always follow that as well, and yet we have nothing but a dip. You would expect at least a little spike in 2021, but it's strange. If it's on the internet, it must be true, of course. Yeah, I'm not the only one questioning the Facebook success and the YouTube decline. But again, like Facebook is celebrating, yay, more total hours watched for us at like a considerably more amount of hours streamed though. So it's not really that much of a success when you think about it. More, it means more streamers having to stream more hours, but with less watchers. So it's more about, you know, the amount of streamers you got. You could have 1 billion streamers on Facebook Gaming with like 2 viewers and you would beat YouTube Gaming. It doesn't mean it's necessarily a success though. Anyway, moving on. That's just, you know, always question graphs. Always question graphs. Not that Streamlabs has any, as far as I'm aware, ulterior motive to celebrate or twist graphs or anything, but don't always accept it, you know, what it is. Except math nerds. Did you know? Okay, here's a little digression. Growing up in the US, we called it math, singular, no S, right? Just math. And then when I moved back to New Zealand, everyone in school was calling it maths with an S. And I always thought they sounded stupid. And sometimes I'd tell them off. And I'd be like, why are you saying maths? It's not a plural. It's math. You're doing math, right? Thinking I was educated well in the US. Well, until recently I learned I was wrong. It turns out it is maths. Because the S in math is silent, it's actually not. It turns out because there's many different types of math in mathematics. It's not that it's short for mathematics. Well, it kind of is. So math, as we understand it, right, comes in multiple different iterations. You've got algebra, calculus, you know, whatever else there is, long division. It makes it a, I can't remember what the actual term for it, but there's a term where when you're talking about just math in general, sort of all-encompassing all math, it's maths, because you're talking about all the different types of math. If you're only talking about one, so you're just talking about calculus, that's math. But when you're talking about it at all, it's maths. So it turns out I was wrong. FYI, you learned something today. Has nothing to do with streaming, but you learned something today. One math, two maths. Get your plural right. Yeah, exactly. There's an actual phrase. There's a English terminology for the type of word that it is. But yeah, you learned something today. Congrats. You didn't come here for it, but you got it. It's always a painful thing to hear math. Well, just math in general is always painful to hear. It's always been my weakness. And yet, somehow, I got into data analysis. What the fuck? How does that work? In Finnish, maths is a singular. Interesting. Dazbot, how you doing, buddy? Interesting. But you have mathematics, right, Saslin? Or is just the word like... You only have matematic in Danish? I guess it doesn't really work the same in other languages. You never call it maths, though? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really work. It's more just within the English side of things it seems to work. Interesting. Well, there you go. You'd get bullied if you call it mathematics? Maybe. Obviously, it's an English-only definition. So for English speakers or people with English as a second language, you learn something new about the English language. Let me be more specific. So in other words, non-English speaking languages just have it right. Just call it one thing. Scroll at one thing, don't have to worry about it. Prefer that way myself. You don't know how to English? No, you don't, Bear, despite being English. But then many English people don't know how to English very well. Whenever people talk about math now, we have to ask if they're doing more than one type, and if so, we can smugly correct them. Yes, Garling, you are correct. And it's an imperial unit thing. Mathematics is plural, and distance metrics is 1.6 times the real distance. Sure. Yeah, we'll put it down to that. So, well, now you can correct an American whenever they say math. You can go, actually, it's maths, you heathen. You low-educated American. You know, whatever. Anyway. Moving on. You uneducated swine. It's maths. Yeah. And then, if they're really smart, they'll come back and say, I was just talking about one form of mathematics. Smartass. You're an English language geek. You've been correcting Americans for years. How has that gone, Barbie? How's that gone? You feel like it's your fault? It is, Twitchy. It is. Americans don't speak good English to begin with in most parts. Come over to the UK, Assassin. You might correct that statement. Moving on. Twitch Soundtrack is now available via browser. Not that anyone really uses Soundtrack, and those who do just haven't learned better. Really? They just haven't learned better. Just FYI. And yeah, bad news. Soundtrack is terrible. Yeah. I advise everyone to just not bother with it. Essentially. The thing is, so if we go, hold on, let's go back. Twitch Soundtrack, its purpose is to stop streamers getting DMCA'd when playing music on their stream, right? The thing is, the music in your stream is not a strong point for growing your stream or keeping people around. Do you go to any stream and follow it because of the music that is playing in the background, or do you continue to go to that channel because of the music being played in the background? Despite what content the streamer is doing or what content they're making? Is it just the music that keeps you there? Probably not, right? Probably not. It's such a... like, having music is nice, right? So that you're just not listening to my voice, and if I choose to not speak or say I'm playing a game I'm getting distracted by it, there's kind of an eerie quiet, right? It's just this weird quiet. So you put on a little bit of ambiance. But that ambiance is not a key feature of the stream. Only if it was a music stream, but then, yeah, but it's, that's kind of a very unique niche aspect and doesn't really work. Anyway, you only follow a channel because of the music when said channel is a music channel? Sure, music channels aside, there's not many of those, right? And in that case, Twitch Soundtrack works, but that's not necessarily why Twitch Soundtrack is there, or why it's used by many. This music sucks, I'm unfollowing, by all means, go ahead. If you don't like chiptune, you can just get out. But outside of music streams, right? Outside of music streams, Twitch Soundtrack is there for streamers to be able to play DMCA-able music and not be DMCA'd. Removes it from the VOD. But Twitch Soundtrack does not protect you from a live stream DMCA, which you can receive. So those music streams, again, can be DMCA'd because you can receive a DMCA while live. So this just protects you from the VOD side of things. But I have to say, if you're playing DMCA music, like it's not a reason for people to be in your channel. And if you think the music is an important aspect of your stream, then I worry about the content you're producing, personally. If you think it's that important that you have to play DMCA-able music in your stream, find non-DMCA music. Like, You might find that your content is why people are there, or you're the reason why people are there. If it's the music, then not really sure that's the sort of people you want in your community, is it? Ultimate burn would then be someone watching the VOD and saying these were their favorite parts. So yeah, anyway, that's my point about Twitch soundtrack. I will always advise the streamer not to bother using Twitch soundtrack. Just find non-DMCA-able music and just concentrate on your content. You'll be fine. As I said earlier in the stream, the paid boost your stream or boost this stream experiment is live. Has been live for a few days. Only a select few channels, so you might not see it very often or at all. But viewers can now pay to boost the stream. I've seen it in action. I've seen one channel that was being boosted. Still yet to see results. Skill combined tanking and 80s music. Not too bad a stream. Sure, but you weren't there for the music, were you, Assassin? It created ambiance. Created some of the atmosphere as part of it, right? But you're not there solely for the music. If he chose other music, you'd probably still stick around, right? Because of his content and who he is. There's a partner you watch who plays DMCA-able music through the entire stream. You've never looked to see if the VODs are left up or anything after. Check them out, Dave. But again, it's not just the VODs that are the problem. The VODs are a big risk for DMCAs because the VODs stay there long after the stream, right? So if anyone did run a check, they would pick up the VODs for having the music in it. But you are still at risk being DMCA'd while live. So that person is running risk. And there are still a lot of streamers knowing the facts, knowing the risks, or they think the risks are a lot lower than they actually are, who still play DMCA music. And they think they won't get pinged. Just give it time. Not for music, but it was an additional bonus. I'd be interested to see if it's on his VODs. Although I don't think it is, because when I checked Skills VODs, they were muted. So, yeah. Running a risk. I watched a vid on YouTube over the weekend that talked about this boost thing. I found that the boosts were being targeted at lower viewer streamers, that they made pretty much zero difference in the long run. So I watched it being done on a channel. I'm not sure what their normal viewage is, but they grew, they got viewage, but it was kind of spoiled because there was a popular channel viewing the other channel, and I think viewers were crossing over, inflating their numbers even more. So it was difficult to say if it was the boost or if it was this other channel that was kind of jumping on the back of it, talking about it. Yeah. We'll see. There's been some information that's come out about saying only certain channels would be able to be boosted, not the like top tier channels. What the cap is on that, how they're going to determine that, I don't know. Is it going to be average viewership? Is it going to, like, what's it going to be where a channel can't be boosted? So that'll be interesting. It's just no one wants this. No one wants this. But they're going. They're experimenting with it anyway. As you see at the bottom, boost purchases are limited to US-based users. Well, then I'm fucked. If this goes ahead, I'm fucked. I think it's only for the experiment, though. The experiments that Twitch does generally are only within the US. So that's probably why. But only their US viewers can actually boost it, too. On that, people think there are two small streamers that nobody will pay attention to? No, don't take that risk. We're talking about the DMCA stuff, right? Twitchy with that. The thing is, there's automated tools that music labels can use to detect who's streaming with the music. So it doesn't matter how big or small you are. They click one button, it just scans can pick you up. Twitch thought their deal on bits wasn't good enough, so now they have invented Boost. Yeah. I mean, there's two reasons why people are angry about this. Because the viewers are paying, right? So speaking with a couple people, boosting the stream works exactly the same as promoting your posts on social media. I can pay to promote a tweet or an Instagram post or a TikTok or whatever. I, as the creator, can pay to boost that so that more people will see it, right? Boost the stream is the same as that. It's just getting more potential eyes on your stream. But the viewers are paying for it here, not the creator. So it's kind of a weird twist on it. But also the creator doesn't get any share. The creator gets potentially more eyes on it, on their stream, but they don't get any monetary share. So those are the main two reasons why people are angry about this idea. Seems like a bit of a money grab from Twitch. Everything's US only to start with? Yeah. You'd love to see a UK only thing here? I think we'll be waiting a while. For that. Streaming is now pay to win. Well, let's see, because at the moment we've not really seen how well this works. It's only potential. That's all you're paying for is potential, right? You can pay $5 and get 5,000 promotions of the channel. All that does is it'll show up more on the front page, right? Live channels we think you'll like. You might see a boosted channel in here. Or you might see it on the sidebar. You know, they're like, oh, recommended channels. You might see it down here. Not online friends. Recommended channels. You know, that doesn't mean anyone will click on it. So it's not guaranteed. Not being the data geek that I am as well. As a viewer, if I'm paying to boost a channel, right, I'm going to pay $5 for 5,000 impressions. Me as the viewer, me as the person paying, I will get absolutely zero stats on what I paid for. I'm just throwing money that the streamer doesn't get, don't forget. I'm just throwing money at the system and being told, sure, they're going to get 5,000 impressions. There's no proof. There's no stats on how many people clicked on it, how many people viewed on it, demographics of where it was viewed. None of that. The streamer can see that sort of stuff in their dashboard, some of it anyway. But that doesn't help the person actually paying. I want to know what I'm paying for. I'm being told 5,000 impressions, but they could say anything. They could say anything. So I don't know if it's worth it or not. It feels like throwing money into a black hole? Yeah. Yeah, it's very much like throwing money into a black hole. If I knew some of it was actually going to the streamer, I wouldn't feel so bad. But the fact none of it goes to the streamer, it's like I'm just handing money to Twitch. You almost never click any channels you see on the front page except you already know those channels, or they happen to be streaming something you're really interested in. Yeah, same. I rarely click on something that's on the front page unless it's something very specific that I'm looking for. Pay Twitch for reasons. So yeah, that's why people are not happy with this, because there's an idea here, but it hasn't been formally or fully formulated. Is where I was going with that. Hasn't been fully formulated, and I think that's they needed to do more development here to give it something that people might think, oh well, you know, let's give it a chance, instead of doing whatever this is. Click on the page channels if you're bored and no one you follow is streaming. It's fair. How often does that happen, though? Out of curiosity. How often are you bored and no one you follow is streaming? Not very. Exactly. Exactly. You think it's bollocks, and it's to you, it just cements the direction Twitch has been heading for a while now? Well, let's just you know, it is an experiment. And Twitch develops through experiments. Let's just, you know, at least I'm going to try and put some positivity to it. Twitch develops through experiments, right? They just throw and see what sticks to the wall, and then they build on it and they launch it, right? They already know a ton of people hate this idea. Not only because the streaming doesn't get any currency, we don't know if it is actually doing anything, but also people see it as a money grab and they're letting Twitch know that. So Twitch has to take that into consideration on whether they're going to launch it or not. So let them do the experiment. That's how they work. They do a heap of other experiments, some of which we never hear about, some of which they do and people love them, right? And they get launched. So let them do the experiment. We don't know how long it's for. Won't be for long. We'll see what happens. If they actually launched it site-wide, then sure, let's get a little mad, right? It will definitely cement that Twitch is going in a particular direction if they're doing it that way.
I think I need a sub-intervention.
I think you need a sub-intervention as well, Daddy. Thank you very much for your 23-month resub. That's a long, long time. You're almost into the terrible twos. Thank you, Daddy. Can we get some love in the chat for the 23-month resub? Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. How are you doing? How's your Monday? This is what you use to term a bright idea. It usually comes down from the top and you have to try it, but know it's going to fail. Yes, Army. Yes. Yes. So I've been in a workplace where I've had to develop something knowing it's A, not going to work, or B, no one's going to love it. Yet I've had to spend months at a time sometimes developing it to then deploy it and find no one uses it because they hate it. But because some CEO or some exec or something has gone, I want this, doesn't necessarily mean anyone else will. But that's the problem with executives. And this might be Twitch exploring ways to try and generate more revenue because, you know, Daddy Amazon demands it. Crackle is the same. You know, she's been told that they need to deploy something, knowing it's not going to work, knowing it's going to be shit, but someone up top wants it. And then you get to waste months and months developing it, pushing it out, and they find it was a giant waste of time. And no doubt the same executive will go, yeah, that didn't work. We did something wrong. No, your idea was shit. We tried to tell you so. But thanks for the paychecks anyway. Since I'm a native English speaker, you saw a graphics tool called Procreate. Doesn't that mean something else completely? It does. Yes, it does. Well, yeah, no, it does. Yeah. That's a good point. I've never actually thought of it that way, Sasslin. Yeah, it doesn't there have a space in it for the software? Can't remember. Thought Crackle was telling you to do something to make more revenue. I mean, she does. She does. I have to try and pull my own weight. I can't pay the bills. Some big shot wanted a free trip somewhere, so you had to work your ass off to give them a reason. What? Now that seems to be just kind of abusing their position. You can get graphical about procreation. Let's move on. No one here can remember Procreate for any other reason. Let's move on. So yeah, the this experiment is happening. If you see a channel with it, I'd be interested. Because so few channels are part of the Boost the Stream experiment, it's very hard to find one to actually see if it works. But again, even as the viewer, if you're paying and thinking as a test, like, hey, let me throw $3 at them and see if I see their viewership rise. Like, you're just throwing money at it. And you're not going to get any stats or anything, so it's going to be a perceived, you know, increase if there is any increase. Or maybe they just normally increase during that time when you boosted it, or, you know, the game that they're playing or the time of day, or maybe they got raided by someone. There's too many variables to know if your boost even made a difference. You don't know what the boost is? Promotions, daddy. So, you know, some viewer pays $3 and your channel will be promoted into special spots on the front page 3,000 times, or show up in recommendations, I should say. Should show up in recommendations 3,000 times. Who to? We don't know. Where? Also not really guaranteed. You know, it's and even then, if it's promoted to those areas, that doesn't guarantee anyone clicks on them. Time zone? Well, yeah, exactly. We don't know the demographics, who, where. You know, like I said, it's on the front page, right? Could be here. Could be the recommended channels here. The thing I question as well about it is, I'm in the UK. Say it's regional based. You know, who you get promoted to. We don't know if it is or not. But there's only so many spots available for the channels that are being recommended. Same with here. Right? There's only so many spots. So what if there were 10 channels being boosted in my region? Who determines where they go? Who's going to be one of the 4 channels that shows up in the list? I mean, we can do show more. Who goes where? Who's up the top? Who's under the show more? That's obviously hidden. Who's at the top of the list here? Because no doubt people aren't going to click this button and scroll very far, right? There's only certain spots. So yeah. How does it determine who's where and when? There's just too many unknowns for me as a viewer to put money into it. You'll just get boosted. Just trust it, Daddy. Just trust it. Just trust the experiment. Either way, my guess is this experiment is not going to see global rollout. Or if it does roll out globally, which you'd have to question Twitch's mindset on it. I don't think many people are going to use it. Moving away from Twitch, let's go to happier places. YouTube's making a lot of changes, a lot of updates as well. One of which might interest existing YouTubers, not so much the live streaming side of things. Chapters. If you've seen any of my YouTube videos from the Stream Talk VODs, if you're a Coffee or Patreon subscriber, you'll notice there's chapters in the YouTube video. And that's using timestamps to create the chapters. Your titles for those chapters are now part of metadata that will show up in searches in Google, for example. So now it's kind of important to think of catchy SEO related titles or chapter names, I should say. Might be worthwhile thinking of the best sort of SEO possible you can for those chapter names to show up in more searches. So if someone types in a, question or a certain subject into Google, they could potentially get your video as a result. So they already do it with descriptions and stuff in regards to your YouTube video. Now the chapters themselves are also part of it. Which is actually a giant ball ache because I do some admin work for a particular YouTube channel and create the chapter names. And before I was just like, some random wording in regards to what that chapter's about. Now I have to actually think intelligently about it, which I'm not looking forward to. Separately, this should have actually come out with Stream Hatchet's report that we saw earlier, but it didn't. This is completely separate by Stream Hatchet. The top 5 Netflix films are competing with live streaming categories in regards to viewership. So here we have in red our Netflix films in regards to time watched, hours watched. In black, we have Twitch live streaming. Actually, it's across all of them. Watched on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Gaming. Although, I'm curious how they combine that, because just chatting, for example, YouTube Gaming does not have a just chatting section. Facebook Gaming also does not have a just chatting section. So is this all Twitch then? Doesn't say. So many trolls. So anyway, just chatting is the number 3 spot in regards to hours watched, competing between some of the top Netflix films, none of which I've actually watched, so I don't know how good they are or not. GTA 5, which we know is on a high because of roleplay, was also between Netflix. So it's just interesting to see that live streaming is competing with streaming services like Netflix. Be interesting. Surprising? No, not for me anyway. But there you go. As I was saying, YouTube is coming up with a lot of updates in regards to its live streaming space, right? And I've said it before, but this is going to make the difference whether Twitch or YouTube is going to be the computer here, right? People are still going to be really reluctant to move over to YouTube Gaming, but the amount of updates they're making to bring up the live streaming section experience is way faster than what Twitch is doing. Way faster. They're going to be on par with Twitch in no time. And then if they keep it up, they'll be exceeding Twitch in regards to the live streaming experience. So anyway, gifted memberships. This is one of the big things that streamers on Twitch were saying was holding them back from moving to YouTube, was gifted memberships. Now it's coming. Some streamers rely on gifted subs a lot for their revenue, so they'd lose that going to YouTube Gaming. Now that's not going to be the case. Gifted memberships. Improved discoverability for live streams. We'll move on to that. Editing tools. So someone I know was saying just last week, how useful would it be and how much more functionality it would be than what Twitch has got if you could take your clips and just put them straight into your YouTube shorts. Because Twitch doesn't have that capability, right? You can make clips in Twitch, but what happens to those clips? Usually not much. They just go somewhere and they get lost in time, right? No one really does anything. A streamer can utilize those clips by downloading it and posting it on social media, maybe cutting it up a little bit and stuff. It's a very manual effort, right? And that turns a lot of people off in actually doing it, both for time and skill and all this sort of stuff. But essentially your clips in Twitch, no one really browses your clips all that much. Let's be fair. You go to many streamers' lists of their clips and browse them? Probably not, right? Well, YouTube's going to allow you to take those clips from your YouTube streams and put them in the shorts, which is a whole different content format. And as I've mentioned before, YouTube's got 3 different types of content. Twitch has 1. And this is Twitch's biggest hurdle in my mind. You can live stream on Twitch. That's about it. YouTube, you can live stream. You can have a VOD. And that can be as of your live stream, or it can be completely different content itself. And then you've got shorts, which is your vertical short form content like TikTok and all this sort of stuff. You can essentially do all 3 now at once. Well, once this update comes, you can do all 3 at once. Far superior to Twitch, right? Mod tools improving, which is something they really need to do. Wait for it.
Hi, I've been trying to say hello for like 15 minutes, but my boss kept talking to me, so we disapprove.
The fact it read out the emote. Erd, thank you very much for the hello, and thank you very much for the 16-month resub. Can we get some love in the chat, please? Can you tell your boss to just fuck off? Just, it's my time, not their time. Thank you, Ern, for your resub. Thank you for dropping in. Hopefully your Monday's all right. How disrespectful of your boss. It's Atreyu time, not boss time. Unfortunately, I can't pay you your salary during Atreyu time, but instead you're paying me to be here. Thanks. Then he literally says something to you while the alert was going off. What a... Just disrespectful. Or just walk out of the office. Just walk out of the office. You can tell him why. Thank you, Ert. Where was I? Mod tools increasing. Chat experience improvements. We haven't really gone into that. This is the thing I already had open. I'm gonna share this with you in chat. I'll share that with you in chat because there's a lot of this is mostly text, so I'm not gonna go through it. 10 ways to monetize on YouTube. What do we have on Twitch? Subs, bits. Subs, bits. What other ways are there to monetize? We can't take donations as a Twitch thing because that's always done through a third party like Streamlabs and Stream Elements or whatever. Direct PayPal. You know, that's not a Twitch feature. Subs, bits. Am I missing any? Twitch only monetization functions. Am I missing any? That's pretty much it, right? Or if you're lucky enough, you know, you could do the Twitch bounty board, but that's very select few. We're not gonna count that. Subs and bits, right? Subs and bits. Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Oh, ads. Sorry, ads, which you get like, you know, a cent every month with. YouTube has 10 ways to monetize. Ads, which is their main one, right? You get paid out very well on ads, depending on your viewership, obviously, on YouTube. Super chat, super sticker, super thanks, memberships. You can do merch straight through. Well, they're going to bring merch straight through on YouTube. Not all of this is relevant to everyone, like brand connect and all this sort of stuff. Not all of this is relevant, but it's more than bits and subs, right? So, again, not that we're just thinking about money or anything. Sorry, by the way, Bruce Willis was filming a movie a few blocks away last week, and now Mel Gibson is apparently downstairs in your building filming a different movie. Well, aren't you in the popular spot, Ern? You better go snap a picture of him or it doesn't count. Bits and subs is the new cats and boots. Or boots and cats. Boots and cats, but now it's subs and bits, or bits and subs. I think it is. Bits and subs and bits and subs and it works. Getting the right beat behind it, it works. Anyway. As I said before, the 3 ways that YouTube is providing content, which Twitch is only doing 1, live streams. YouTube live streams turn into VODs, and you can also use clips to create shorts. Or you can do all 3 separately and have different types of content across them as well. This is something YouTube's excelling at over Twitch. Even Facebook Gaming, sadly, kind of has it a bit better as well because we've got live streams which turn into a video on demand, which is always in your feed. Twitch has VODs, but they're not easy to discover. And that's the problem. So yeah, there's you know, they're $100 million shorts fund. So if you're creating shorts on YouTube, you're doing this creator fund to try and get people using shorts more. Yeah, gifted memberships. There's a whole thing here about you know, added features and stuff, how you can monetize. Aaron posted a video about YouTube versus Twitch last week. He did. I haven't watched it yet, but that is on my cards because it's his 3 weeks in, I believe. 3 weeks in after moving from Twitch to YouTube. It should be good. He still seems to be loving it over on YouTube. And it's surprising as well because Aaron, or if anyone's remembers him, TLD Academy, he's a photographer. He's a very lovely guy. Would stream his photography editing and stuff on Twitch. Now he's gone to YouTube But he's not under YouTube Gaming because he's not doing gaming streams. He's just doing YouTube live streams. So it's a little different as well. There's a lot of people who are saying non-gaming stuff is a little bit harder to be discovered because YouTube Gaming has quite a categorization around it. Like you can be categorized under the particular game you're playing and all this sort of stuff. But if you're outside the gaming sphere, you're kind of just out there in YouTube Live. So it'll be interesting to see how he's getting on. Seems much more quiet over there, but you don't pop in often anymore. There is going to be a transition period. That's his channel there. Thanks, Aaron. There is going to be a transition period. But like I say, he's also not within a particular category like he was over here. There's like makers crafting, creative space, which he was in. Not so much over there. You miss emotes? Emotes are coming. Some channels have emotes over on YouTube. Some channels have emotes. I'm not sure what determines who has and who doesn't have emotes though at the moment. VK, how you doing? How's your Monday? Hopefully your weekend was good. Same goes for everyone else. So yeah, anyway, improvements are coming to YouTube Gaming. Improvements are coming. This is going to start being the difference. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for months. YouTube's bringing up the game. They're becoming a viable platform for streaming. They already kind of are a viable platform. They're becoming even more of a viable platform, a competitive platform. I'm doing well, VK. I'm doing well. Except it's getting colder. Except it's getting colder around here. Sun's out, but you wouldn't fucking believe it. I think we all know about this one, right? I don't think I need to go too much about it. Facebook has announced it's becoming Meta. But, like I said before, at least they're putting it out there of what they're going to be doing, right? They're just going to be selling your metadata. So at least it's like, there's no lie about it. We're just going to name what we're going to sell. It's there. You can't act surprised now. Right? Can't act surprised now. Anyway, Zuckerberg has this whole idea about building the metaverse, a place where we'll play and connect in 3D. Otherwise known as the Matrix. Otherwise known as the Matrix. Or this will be the start of the Matrix. Or what I would hope it would be, if anyone's watched Ready Player One or read the book, if it was something like that, that'd be awesome. But, we can only hope. We can only hope. It's getting cooler here too, down to 21. Can we swap places, right? Ever read Snow Crash? No, I have not read Snow Crash, actually. Is it like Ready Player One? I like how you both mention it at the same time as well. I can come visit. Well, I will be next year, Ern. I mean, kind of. TwitchCon. It's Metaverse, Snow Crash. All right, I'm taking a note of it. Taking a note of it. It's literally called Metaverse? Oh, really? That's very far from you? Look, well, it's the best I can do, Aaron. Although, Crackle and I are going to make a trip of it when we go to TwitchCon. We're not just going to go to San Diego. We're going to spend time in LA, San Diego. She wants to go back to the Grand Canyon. We'll see what we can do from there as well. It's like a 10-hour drive. I can only do so much. I can only do so much, okay? Me to the Grand Canyon. It's partway between. Sure. You've never been. It's very grand. It's very grand. The whole like metaverse thing for Meta, Facebook. Everyone's still going to call it Facebook, or the platform formerly known as Facebook. The whole metaverse thing, we have no idea what it's going to look like, how it's going to look, or when. So it's a lot of talk at the moment. Maybe this is why they bought Oculus, actually. Sign up to Meta, get a free VR kit? I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. A success story. Well, potential success story. Pokimane has announced that she is launching a talent management and brand consulting firm. Remember what was spoken about diversification, right? If you're not aware, Pokimane launched a makeup range a while back, and she does very well for it. It does very well for it. What does RTS mean? I don't know what it means, but that's her. That's the company name. Let's see if we can find out. Real-time strategy. Yeah, that's what it's called. I like how they took the Tetris thing there. Trying to see if they've got a about. RTS. Mario Brothers copyright issues? Raise your game. No, I was thinking that might be part of it. No, it's a nice website. Nice website. No, it doesn't seem like there's a particular meaning behind RTS. It's just called RTS, probably because of its association with gaming, right? That's probably essentially it. Well, there's a number of people involved already. Yeah, there's no particular definition. It's just RTS. Like I say, probably in regards to its relation to gaming. You know, you wouldn't want FPS. RTS has kind of got a nice little ring to it, if you ask me. Either way. Like I said, she has a successful makeup line. I believe she earns more off that than she does for her live streaming, and like she's a successful live streamer. And this is what I mean about diversification. She's now got a talent management and brand consulting firm as well. So becoming the empire here. So well done to her. Yeah, big diversification. Nice website too. You bet you would not make fortunes in makeup even if you would stream? Probably not, Sasson. You'd probably want to go, with a different sort of angle, similar with me. I don't think, making a makeup line would do great, but maybe, hair care or polishing products, turtle wax, something similar to that. Shaving, I don't know, you know what I mean. Just waiting on a finely groomed streamer to come up with like a set of razors or something like that. Just waiting for it. Anyway, but there is the potential for that, for a successful male streamer to come up with like beard oil or something. It would catch on. Here to Grand Canyon is just under 9 hours. Doable one-day drive for you. Definitely be worth saying me and Craggle. Not sure about that. Let's not put too much of a hype on it. Bald head polish. Look, I'm telling you, there's a market for it. And if I could create a product that was like turtle wax, but for your head, it's an ever-growing market. When you think about it, more and more people every day are going bald, by choice or not. There's a whole thing there. There's not many products out there about polishing that dome. You want the water to just bead off when it rains. A little bit of shine to it. Actually, you don't want shine, especially if you're a streamer, because of the lights and stuff. You don't want shine. So you'd want a matte finish sort of polish. You could have two. You could have a high shine or a semi-gloss and then a matte finish. choose the right wax for your day. Anyway, speaking of brand launches, right? Speaking of brand launches, remember this one last week? Reflect. Yeah, about that. Reflect is no longer available. This is all that shows on the website. Reflect was the one that was obviously a complete scam. I wouldn't say it was a complete scam, Gamma. It was not marketed well. Well, saying it's not a scam, it was kind of snake oily. Kinda. It was a moisturizer. But that's not what they marketed it on. They marketed it on something that was not real. Or not a problem, I should say. It was not a problem that they were trying to solve. Anyway. All the controversy that happened about it. I'm not going to list it all. After further reflection. Reflect. Further reflection. Get it? Not to mention it was about blue light protection and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So is she now free-ish? Yeah. Contractually, yeah. I would assume that she's free-ish. I haven't linked to all the other stuff that's happened in between. So remember there was the launch. As soon as it launched, everyone was like, blue light protection is not a thing. Controversy hits Valkyrie because she was the face of it and stuff. She goes dark on social media. Now she actually came out. She did like a voice memo. She did a live stream where she talked about ultimately being blindsided and she should have done more research and all this sort of stuff. She also did can't remember where the source was, but a screen cap was taken from a live stream that showed a conversation between her and another streamer. And just flashed up on screen. Obviously, you can go back and someone took a screenshot of it. And she spoke about how she wants, she has lawyers involved and she's wanting to get out of the contracts and all this sort of stuff. She still believes in the product because, after all, someone spent 2 years developing the product and the brand, and then within 2 weeks of it launching, it's now no more. But yeah, she said that she spent 2 years developing the product and being involved in all this sort of stuff. As soon as people started questioning it, as soon as it launched, she was like, yeah, I want to get out. I want to get out, but yeah. She was also not as big as she was 2 years ago. Yes, it's fairly fair. By the way, hello, Nick Yuri and Scottabot. You feel bad for her. It's not like she created it. But just because she was the face of the company, she took a lot of flack for it. Yes, I feel bad for her as well. Because because she was the face of it, she's copped majority of the flack for it. She was involved from day one, but we don't know the full details of how involved she was. Apparently, she came up with the idea, or she made a comment about blue light in the beginning. Like asking how harmful is blue light, because, you get these blue light glasses. People are in front of screens majority of their day now. And it sounds like the brand people ran off and went, ooh, we can make this a whole thing. Blue light protection. Not that it's actually a problem, but, and the fact they did research for the product, which they couldn't publish, threw up all sorts of questions in the air, right? If you're doing research and you can't publish it, that's not how the scientific community works. Not really how things work. But yeah, not even 2 weeks after it launched, is now dead. Which means, I guess, Valkyrie is free contractually, so I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something something from her side of things. Although we've already heard a fair amount. If you've seen the live stream that she's done, read up any of the other information about it, she's already said a fair amount about what's happened, so we might not need to hear more, but she might still be contractually obligated through NDAs and stuff in regards to it. Don't know. Either way, dead in the water. And this is the problem with making sketchy products that don't really solve real problems. If they had just marketed this as a moisturizer, we wouldn't be here. Or maybe they would still be here. You can still call it Reflect, but just a moisturizer for people who sit in front of screens all day. Wouldn't have had a problem. Wouldn't have had a problem. As soon as they came up with that blue light thing, no. Isn't a bad question if you know nothing about blue light. Yeah. It's interesting though. Like within an hour of them launching, the amount of people who are pulling up actual scientific papers on the research of blue light and how it affects people, or doesn't affect people, is the reality of it, was quick. And yet the main brand woman who is done a lot of work with Reflect and backed them and stuff, she blames it on men. Apparently. She blames it on men. That's why it didn't do well. Fundamental misread of their customer base? Yes. Probably the best way to put it. Well, maybe if their customer base didn't have the internet, they would have gotten away with it. Men are the problem? Clearly. Actually, I wanted to come back to that one, didn't I? Did I not want to come back to that one? No. You're always the problem? Yeah. Agreed. So yeah, anyway. Reflect is dead in the water. Speaking of scams, this segues into the next one, right? Speaking of scams. Let me go back. To say it was the fault of men is interesting since it implies that females are less critical. It was... the way she blamed it was... Reflect wouldn't have received the level of criticism it did if it was a man launching it. Was the way she put it. It was only the fact that a female or a woman came up with the idea and was the face of it and stuff that it received the criticism it did. As you can imagine, the amount of people who responded saying, no, it's not a gender thing. It's the fact you're selling snake oil is why it's receiving criticism. Stupid men criticizing me. Well, no, it just needed a man as the face, apparently. And it would have been fine. Apparently. It would have been perfectly okay. I don't know how that logic works, but can you just imagine a man launching the blue light protection skincare line? I see people jumping all over that like mad. Get ninja, I'm in front of my screen 18 hours a day. I need this face. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I think it's not a really big market, is it? You got something like 3 skin moistening things in development for men? Good luck to you. Helps treat leprosy. Smell of fire, burnt tires, and gasoline. It actually does make me think though. There are men's skincare stuff and beard oils and all this sort of stuff that smell like whiskey and cigarette or pipe smoke, and all this sort of stuff. And I'm just thinking, I always question the whiskey one, right? Some of them smell nice and whatever, but when you think about it, at least for the women in chat, would you like your man coming home and smelling like he'd been at a bar and just sort of like threw all the alcohol over them. I have a feeling it's not, that's not the nicest smell to welcome when they come home. It's nice for the alcoholic partner. Thank you, Tonda. And yeah, Daddy, the product's still snake oil, absolutely. Yeah, and that's another reason why Reflector got even more shit, was because one of the head product women that was pushing it, who was completely tone deaf in her responses on social media, then blames it on the fact that it got so much shit because it was a woman as the spokesperson and not a man. It would have been fine if it was a man. No, it's still snake oil. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Twitchy. You want to set that kind of beard on fire? Yeah. We need a what's it in coffee beard oil. See, a coffee one could work, but like, I don't know. I'm not a woman. I can't say what attracts me to men. Like the smell of whiskey poured all over them. It just, to me, it doesn't sound great. It just makes me think the smell of like stale alcohol from someone who's been out on the town all night. It just, even I hate the smell of that on myself. I smell like morning headaches and bad decisions. And same with the ones that smell like cigar smoke or whatever. It's like, I hate the smell of smoking, so nope. Your new line of skincare smells like Cheetos and Mountain Dew, so you went for the gamer skincare brand, Garnling. Pot noodle beard oil. Just made me want pot noodle all day. Smelling it on myself. Could go for some pot noodle. Gamer edition, yeah. The new scent of loneliness, yeah. I was gonna say, instead of buying a separate product that made you smell like pot noodle, just have pot noodle, kind of, drip a little bit on yourself, and then you get to enjoy pot noodle and smell like pot noodle instead of just smelling like pot noodle. I feel like it's, bit of a win-win. It's kind of like, why would you want to smell like whiskey without actually drinking whiskey? I'm just saying, one for me, one for the beard. Yeah. Bombay Bad Boy flavor. No, Bombay Bad Boy is like it's like a snack. Twitchy. You might not get it over your way, but it's like a spicy snack, I guess you'd say. Comes in bags. It's like, I don't even know what you would call them. They're not crackers, but kind of like the same texture as crackers with like a Bombay mix. It's called. Anyway. It's probably cheaper this way. Maybe. Bombay Bad Boy is a pot noodle flavor. Oh, is it? Oh, that kind of makes sense. What about the smell of a nice Merlot or Sauvignon Blanc? Again, it's kind of the stale alcohol smell, Kind of that stale alcohol smell. I can't say, maybe Merlot would be okay. It's kind of a little bit fruity, some hints of blackberry and something. The sort of crap you come up with for wine, how they describe the taste. You never heard of it, but you meant the reply probably wasn't for you. Oh, right. Yeah, probably wasn't. You're right. Well, Dazbot's a busy guy. Speaking of like the whole hints and notes of stuff and flavors, Crackle and I went for a walk up to the shops in the weekend that we don't normally do. And there's a new place there that does hot chocolates. Or it's a specialized chocolate drink, like cafe, I guess you'd call it. And they do milkshakes, hot chocolates, and mochas. So you can have like a coffee version as well. And the way you order is up on the wall. It's just the percentage of like cocoa level in the chocolate. So you start at the milk chocolate range and there's like a 20% all the way up to 100% cocoa. But there's like a 65, a 66, 67, and then it goes up to like 72 and all this sort of stuff. Huge amount of range. You can have like marshmallows and shit with it as well, and you can add extra spices and all this sort of stuff as well, make it really fancy. But anyway, the descriptions for the one, I went for 66%. It was a Mexican dark chocolate, and it said it has notes of spiciness, and like hints of whatever, right? So I went for that, just as a hot chocolate. And I have to say, I tried it, and it was like, ooh, actually got a little bit of like spiciness to the end of it. It was actually on par with the description. So while it doesn't work with wine, at least not for me, it works for hot chocolate. But yeah, it's very nice, by the way. You can actually buy tubs of all the different types of chocolate, so you can make it at home yourself as well. Where were we? Komodo, how you doing? Happy Monday. How are you doing? If you're interested, the hot chocolate place is called Koops, Koops. If you want to look it up yourself, but it's very nice stuff. If you like hot chocolates, anyway. Technically, you could probably use the chocolate mix for other things too. So anyway, moving on. Slight diversion. What's it called? Koops, Koops. See if it comes up. Nope, it's not that. Koops chocolate? Let me... oh, Noops. Sorry, Noops. There's an N in there. I can't remember this crap. Koopa? No. Noops. With a KN. And when you ask for marshmallows in your drink, by the way, that is literally the size of the marshmallow. It's just one marshmallow and it's fucking massive. You hope it's not cheese? No, it's marshmallow. They're just big, huge, one singular marshmallow. So yeah, when here you go. Here's like the chocolates, right? You get all sorts of other crap with it as well. Thought they put a cheesecake in your drink. I mean, that could be great. That could be great. Nice New York cheesecake, just a big slab of it in your hot chocolate. I think you've come up with something. Actually, I think you thought of something there, Tonda. So anyway, you can buy the tubs of stuff. So like 80%, and it's just like flakes in a tub. So you could potentially use that for baking or something else. Earn ideas. Just the whole damn cheese. Cheese straight in hot chocolate though? None. I don't think that's really a thing. So yeah, anyway, it was actually really nice, and just on the flavor note thing, it actually worked for the chocolate. Not sure if it works for much else. Ideas what? You're half listening. Chocolate, baking, just go with that. Just go with that. Get 0% and just a glass of water. Why would you want to be that person? Chocolate bacon? That's a thing. I said baking, not bacon, but whatever. We're moving on. Going from one scam to the next. Apparently, this person says it's within the Turkish Twitch scene, but money laundering has come to Twitch. It's probably been around Twitch a while, but at least now it's becoming noticeable, or people are putting it out there. So dozens of esports players and streamers money laundering through bit donations. Right after Twitch's massive payout leak, people noticed several smaller streamers making absurd amount of money from bits. The scammer uses, so this is how it works, right? A scammer uses stolen credit cards to donate bits to a streamer, who then gives parts of it back to the scammer and keeps some of it for themselves. Money laundering. Monies and maths. When I said monies, it's exactly what I thought. Genius. Yeah. So this person here, I've seen someone else posting a similar email to this, but this is just one example. Are you interested in the Twitch cooperation? So you get an email from random account, right? Are you interested in the Twitch cooperation? We offer you payments from 200 euros and above. Minimal efforts required. Our team will top up your Twitch balance by using bits and Twitch Prime subscriptions. You keep 30%, and the rest you'll have to transfer back to us by credit transfer or PayPal. Based on the cooperative work and consistent stream activity, the percentage of your earnings will grow in your favor. Where do these bits come from? This is the thing. Where do these bits come from? And why don't we withdraw them ourselves? Bits are earned from advertisement actions and stored on our Twitch account balance. The only way to withdraw them is by donating them, which is the reason why we contact you. Now, what they're banking on is the old, if you watch advertisements on Twitch, you get bits as a reward, right? Which only happened in some countries like the US and I think it was Finland, right? Twitchy, I think you got bits for watching ads. Only certain regions, but they scrapped that months ago. So it's no longer a thing. Which I guess most people probably wouldn't know if they get this email. But yeah. There is another way you can earn bits though, for free on Twitch. It's through their marketing. It's through their marketing stuff. You get surveys. You fill out a survey, you get like 100 bits. I actually recently did one which required an actual, what do you call it? It was a group of us on a video call, and they were asking us questions about advertisements on Twitch and all this sort of stuff. It took about 2.5 hours in total. I had to fill out a really big survey, had to do the video call, all this sort of stuff. Focus group, thank you. Yes, I always forget that word for some reason, or that phrase. No, I actually got paid quite a lot of bits for that. But of course, I get it bits in my account, which I can only spend on other people, right? But that was the payout, was I got quite a lot of bits for that. But the normal surveys that literally takes like 2 minutes, you get 100 bits for. I get about 1 survey a week, sometimes 2 surveys a week. You got no bits watching ads? You got them from GlitchCon or buying them? Okay, yeah. Right. You got maybe 5 bits max for an ad. Yeah, they didn't pay out a lot, but you could accrue, you know, a lot over time, which some people did, but they scrapped that. They scrapped that program a while ago. So anyway, streamers are getting this email, and it's money laundering. It's money laundering. I do wonder how Twitch could stop it, though. I don't know if Twitch could stop it, because while they're using stolen credit cards for it, first Twitch has to detect it's a stolen credit card. I wonder how much would actually get through without it being a problem. That's a point as well. That's a point. So say someone donates me $200 worth of bits. I get to keep 30% and I transfer the rest back to someone. If the originating credit card is stolen and gets reported stolen, Twitch is required to like refund that. What about the money that I've sent on to people? The streamer's the one that's going to get screwed here, because you'd have to pay that money back. You're not going to be able to recoup the 70% that went somewhere else. So doubly is bad. Not just being involved in money laundering, but you're potentially going to like lose a bit of money on that. Isn't the point of bits that it doesn't recoup from streamers? Is it not? If a credit card's stolen? Well, I suppose it might not be. Could see a lot of people getting in trouble for that. Didn't Alien hello, by the way. I'm just thinking if it's an actual illegal activity like money laundering. Either way, you're complicit as part of it. If you do this scheme, it's money laundering, you'd be complicit. So heads up. Heads up. Twitch invented bits to stop donations from being refunded, and now this happened. Twitch would have to prove you're part of it. Well, yes, they would. And I'm curious as to how well they could deal with this and how much will actually go through successfully. Because, like I say, credit card would have to be declared stolen and then go through the process. And yeah, once the bits are donated to a streamer, Twitch has no way of knowing whether they're aware of what's happening or not. For sure. Unless you're outright proving it, similar to the whole like view boost thing that we were talking about. Unless you're actually admitting to it, Twitch has no idea. But heck, don't get complicit in money laundering, by the way. That's what they claimed, at least. That was to combat streamers having to deal with getting donations, which were then refunded. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's the sole reason, though, because Twitch obviously earns a bit by bits being purchased. Otherwise, Twitch wouldn't take a cut at all. Because no one else takes a cut. Shh. I have to change that. Anyway. Money laundering has come to Twitch. It wouldn't surprise me if this has been going on for a while. That's a screenshot of that. Speaking of scams, we've now covered two. Oh, and now we're on to NFTs. And money. So speaking of scams and money laundering. It's funny we're talking about money laundering, though, because I just finished watching the latest season of Ozark, which is all about money laundering, which is actually a really good series, by the way. But yeah, speaking of money laundering and scams, Ubisoft has announced to create play-to-earn NFTs and blockchain games, stating they want to be one of the key players there. Why? Why? Scams. This is one way to turn a bunch of players off your games. Of course, Ubisoft will do that. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yay, killing the environment. Yay. It's an interesting take by Ubisoft. I have to say, the replies to this are not welcoming of the idea. Majority of people like, I hate it. You make me want to vomit. Yeah, gross. It's just, I haven't seen a positive outlook of this since they announced it. The thing is, there's a whole article about it, and I'm not even gonna go through it. Make me think somebody already did? What? Oh, making you want to vomit? Where was I going with this? Sorry, I had a train of thought and I totally lost it. Yeah, I totally lost it. It's a Monkey Island joke. I haven't played Monkey Island. Okay, I haven't played Monkey Island. Any of them. So I don't get the reference. All right. Anyway, there's a great thread in regards to this. Maybe the joke wasn't for me. Maybe it wasn't. You have yet to hear something positive about NFTs. Yeah. Same. Except for people who are pushing their own. Yep. Agreed. I didn't actually grab it during the weekend. There was a thread about, the stupid pixel art NFTs that are being auctioned off everywhere. There was a thread about this where, for those who don't know how the crypto market works, is you get a wallet and it's just like a long hash of characters, right, as the identifier for that wallet. Now, the thing with crypto is, the wallet is kind of anonymous, right? I can see every trade of crypto on the internet, right? And it just shows wallet from wallet, or wallet to wallet, right? Purchase, trade, selling, whatever. But it's just the hash, right? So they're anonymous is the point of it. I don't know whose wallet that is. I just see the hash characters. but you can see all the activity from that wallet. And there was a big auction of an NFT, which is just a fucking JPEG. That was a huge sum of money. And the market that was auctioning it advertised it on Twitter. They're like, oh, you know, the next NFT sold for this amount of hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, this is why NFTs are so amazing and blah, 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 whatever. They're celebrating it anyway. Someone followed up in the thread to say, yep, you know, you can see the auction, you see the NFT being purchased in the wallet activity. I think it was like $500,000 or something. And within about 15 minutes, the buying wallet transferred the NFT back to the originating wallet for the same price. But of course, there's transfer fees, so you would lose a little bit in transfer fees. But it went back to the originating wallet that auctioned it off in the first place. So, person screenshotted this, shared it. It's just like, it's a scam, right? It's simply used as a marketing tactic by the auction house or the company who's actually auctioning it off. You know, to celebrate it and say NFTs and try and advertise it and build the hype and all this sort of stuff. In the end, it was just a scam. Live Action Pixel, thank you very much for following, by the way. Welcome to the dome. So yeah, tell me it's not a scam. Violet, how you doing? Tell me it's not a scam. In real auctions, that's called taking bids from the wall, is it? Either way, it's a scam. So yeah, this is, you know, Ubisoft doesn't have a great reputation as it is. Apparently they want to shoot themselves in the foot even more. Apparently they want to shoot themselves in the foot even more. But on this note, there's a great little thread that I'm going to share with you. A great little thread I'm going to share with you. There it is in chat. What is off the wall bidding? All right, let's take a look at it. What is off the wall bidding? Now, this is property investments, right? This is where an auctioneer invents a bid to drive bids in the room higher towards the reserve price. So kind of similar. Kind of similar, but the fact here is the NFT actually sold and was bought by a wallet daddy, and then that wallet transferred it back to the original place. Followed me on Twitter a while ago. No worries. Thank you very much for the follow here. There's no obligation to follow on both, but I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Would have been two wallets owned by the same person. Maybe. Yes. Actually, it probably is right. But the fact that the auction house was then advertising the fact that it actually sold, it's scammy, you know? So yeah, it might have been the same group. It's scammy. The thing people were questioning, though, was the fact it was transferring wallets. There still would have been the transfer fees and stuff, which would have equated to a fair amount of money. So not sure if that would have worked out well for them. NFTs not your thing? Neither. Where was that going? Yeah, sorry. This thread right here, which was not related to the Ubisoft thing, but is related to NFTs in games. And it's a thread saying NFTs are harmful to games and game development in general because not only are they damaging the environment and extract wealth into the hands of bad actors, mostly scams or worse, which is pretty much ultimately all I've seen of NFTs, but they're harming the player experience. And they go on to explain that the mechanism and the purpose of NFTs is already being used in games today as it is, just not as NFTs. But the function's already there in many games and has been for years. So all they're adding by making it NFTs and part of the blockchain is the destruction of the environment. So, you know, great. Never thought of it like that. I never really did either. But I would suggest reading the thread that I put in the chat. Because yeah, some examples: Steam trading cards, WoW Gold resellers. This is not all legitimate stuff, but there's auction houses. You know, there's certain items that you'll get in a game that you know is a rare drop, or you'll be the only one that can have that item in game. It'll be a certain graphic, skin, you know, all that sort of stuff. It already exists in games without the need for the blockchain tech behind it. And they go on to explain, like, it's just games wanting to jump on a hype or you know, a buzzword, put something into it because everyone's talking about it. It sounds like such a cool idea, but it's already there. And instead, you should just concentrate on actually developing a good game. So yeah, it's an interesting thread. I recommend reading it if you're curious about NFTs in the game marketplace. Ubisoft shooting themselves in the foot, saying they want to take part of it. Everyone's jumping on NFT hype, yeah. But the only one really making money out of NFTs are scammers, money launderers, that sort of stuff. Too many bad actors with NFTs for you to trust anything that comes out of it. Same live action. I just keep seeing so many problems coming out of it. Company I did some work for, I was doing some work on the side for. They're jumping on the NFT bandwagon because one of the people in the company loves the idea, and just is total NFT evangelist. And I didn't approve, and I came up with a few arguments and like, okay, well, how do you explain the environmental impact of it? Oh, it's not true, couldn't provide any evidence. But they were jumping on the NFT thing for their platform, and my response to them was like, you can build the system in without NFTs. You could do this absolutely without it being this NFT crypto blockchain environmentally damaging mechanism. But they wanted to stick to it. So yeah, no thanks. You've seen multiple. As soon as something you use goes all weird, NFT, you leave. Kind of, yeah, ditto. Ditto. As there was another discussion, I think I mentioned this last week. Someone who's been involved in analyzing the NFT space and cryptocurrency and blockchain. The blockchain technology stuff can really be used well, right? There's a few solutions that it can work, that can do it. But this person wrote up this thread, and it was NFTs are the solution to a problem that doesn't exist. And reading the thread, it's very true. Someone's come up with something. This sounds great, but it's not really fixing anything. It's not doing anything that needs to be fixed through this mechanism. And yeah, so bad actors have jumped on it because there's ways for bad actors to profit out of it. Anyway, that was the last one. We went from scam to scam to scam. Finish up. A throwback in conversation, slight deviation there, Earn. Now we just need a scam train. We don't need a scam train. We don't need a scam train. So yeah, how do you feel about Ubisoft joining the scam train? I guess you would see. Slight deviation from subject. This is Ern's marshmallows, handmade marshmallows. Well, Ern, did you see the other marshmallows? Did you see it? They don't look like that. That's just one big marshmallow in a hot chocolate, by the way. Just one big marshmallow. That's why you pulled pics. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, slight deviation from the subject. And just to add, Crackle had big marshmallow in her hot chocolate. It didn't melt. You know, normal marshmallows would melt and just get all sugary. Yeah, this one didn't. It didn't melt. Instead, it just kind of like soaked up the hot chocolate, and she could then eat it afterwards. This looks amazing. It's a hot chocolate specialist shop just up the road from us, Spare. Or it's just chocolate, because they do chocolate milkshakes, hot chocolates, and chocolate coffees. It was pretty nice. Very busy. Very nice. So yeah. That was kind of what I had today. Are there marshmallows in the milkshake? I'm not sure. Apparently, like, you can ask for the marshmallows extra. So you order your drink, and then you get like all sorts of stuff you can add to it, spices and pistachio and marshmallows. So potentially you could ask for the marshmallow to go in your milkshake. I don't see why not. Or in your coffee. You got a nice place there, but it's so expensive. So the place up the road for the hot chocolates is the same price as a coffee. Really? You've never actually tried that. What? Oh, marshmallows and hot chocolate? Garlic? You've never tried marshmallows and hot chocolate? Dude, you're missing out. You're like 100% missing out. You still have to heat a Stroop waffle over a cup of tea or coffee. Ooh. I've never tried that, but that does sound pretty good. It does sound pretty good. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's the stream talk subjects I had for today. We do have a mission for the rest of the stream today, and that's to try and finish the Graveyard Keeper DLC. I think we're close. And I wanted to try and finish that off before we move on to the next thing, because for the rest of the week, we're going to be playing Unpacking from tomorrow. For those who haven't seen it, Unpacking is a very chill, very cute game. It's a game. It's a game. Hold on. If you haven't seen the trailer, this is the game. You remember the demo? Now, something we didn't get in the demo was there is a story which you learn through the process of unpacking the houses along the way. Don't we have to pack first? No, it's just about unpacking. Thank God. Thank God. But this is a humble developed game. It's very chill. It's very cozy. Packing's DLC. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. So yeah, that's the trailer for it. We played the demo a while back. Very, I enjoyed it a lot, personally. Like I say, it's very chill. There's nice, chill background music to it. I've been provided a key for it to play it. Releases tomorrow. Pretty much as I go live tomorrow is when it releases. And we're going to play that for the week. I'm pretty much going to play it through. I don't know how many hours there are. I don't think there's going to be too many. We should finish it by end of a week. But yeah, let's look forward to some really chill unpacking for the rest of the week after that. But I could see packing as a DLC. Live action. I could see that. It would be almost like a 3D Tetris. Say you're given a cardboard box, you got a bunch of items in the room that you can twist and rotate and to fill the box as much as you can. Say you've got a limited amount of boxes as well, so you've got to make everything fit. If you've left with leftovers, you've either got to leave it behind or extra points, repack stuff, and someone would love it. That's a whole game idea right there. You know someone will love that type of game as much as some people will love unpacking. For those who haven't seen unpacking or the demo, you get boxes in each room, and certain items come out when you click on it, and you've got to find the right place for those items before you can proceed to the next level. Certain items are expected to go in certain places, so you can't just like throw them anywhere all over the floor and be like, yeah, sweet, I'm done. So that's kind of part of the problem. The right place, so you can't just place it as you see fit. Some stuff you can, but when we were playing the demo, you know, we would put certain things around and some would highlight in red, and it's kind of like that doesn't belong there, and you have to try and find the right place for it to go. So I think there's flexibility in some items, but there's not in others. And it's kind of a difficulty of the game, because for me, I thought like a frying pan would go in a certain spot, but it didn't accept it. So there's going to be some issues for certain people thinking certain items go in certain places and the game doesn't think so. Are we screaming at the game? Not the right place. You're already screaming at how they pack the toothbrush? They don't pack... Well, the toothbrush just goes in a box with everything else. It's not wrapped. It's not in a container, which most people wouldn't do. Yeah, just went in the box on its own. Yeah. Most people wouldn't do that, I don't think, with their toothbrushes. I think we had that with soap as well. You get like a bar of soap. It's just in the box. Yeah. Obviously, it's a game. It's not expecting people to actually pack soap or toothbrush straight in a box. But hey, I'm not judging people. You know, pack how you want to pack. I'm not going to judge. Maybe I will judge, but I'll do it quietly. All right, I'll do it quietly. You plan the use of your toothbrush with the movie times, so you never move it. Oh, moving times. Gotcha. Sorry. So yeah, that's Stream Talk today. It's all about scams, really. It's all about scams. It's interesting to see the money laundering side of things come to light. It's interesting to see the money laundering. It's probably been around Twitch for a while, but the data leak has highlighted it, and now it's out in the public. So it'll be interesting to see how Twitch deals with that. You missed it all apart from the nasty NFTs? It wasn't too much. It wasn't too much. We could do a quick recap. You generous sods raised £350 for Neo's birthday tribute fund to Cancer Protection. Thank you very much for all your generosity, you lovely people. SolarStream is launching tomorrow. Don't exactly know what SolarStream is going to provide, but it's going to provide something to streamers. It comes from the makers of Streamer Square, who provide tutorials, information, all sorts of stuff to streamers. It's been quite a helpful resource for many. And they're launching SolarStream, but no one's actually given details about what it is. So we're going to find out tomorrow when it launches. The Streamlabs Q3 2021 live streaming industry report came out, and there's some questions. Mainly around Facebook and how it's being judged. Facebook is apparently accelerating and just skyrocketing in regards to total hours watched, despite total hours streamed plummeting and unique channels plummeting. Concurrent viewers and total watched hours is still skyrocketing. Questionable. Very questionable. Twitch soundtrack is now available on browser. No one should be using it anyway. The Boost the Stream experiment is now live. It's an experiment. It's temporary. No one's loving it. No one's seen any proof that it actually does anything. Very few channels have it, so we probably don't need to worry about it. I doubt it's going to go global. If it goes global, expect a lot of backlash. Chapters in YouTube are now going to be considered metadata for searches on the web. So if you create YouTube content and you create chapters, think about your chapter titles. Ultimately SEO them because they could show up in searches. So that could be really helpful for you if you're a YouTube creator. Facebook reporting their own numbers you'll never believe. Same. Although that comes from Stream Hatchet, who I'm assuming is gathering the data, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know how they determine it or anything. A little report that came out from Stream Hatchet is Netflix is competing. Well, not Netflix directly is competing, but here's a comparison as in regards to how some live streaming categories are competing with subscription services like Netflix. Several, like Just Chatting, GTA 5, League of Legends, and stuff are competing quite heavily with some of the most popular video-on-demand subscription services. This is just to show how big live streaming actually is. Lots of big updates coming to YouTube Live, YouTube Gaming. Gifted memberships is one of the biggest ones that's holding people back from transitioning from Twitch to YouTube. Gifted memberships is coming. Improved discoverability for live streams. Editing tools, converting clips straight to shorts, which is a big one as well. Mod tools, chat experience. These are probably the biggest ones I think are needed to make YouTube live streams competitive with something like Twitch. The biggest thing I hate about live streams on YouTube is the chat experience and the lack of proper mod tools. Modding YouTube streams is horrendous. So I've heard. This is the actual information about all the stuff that's coming in regards to the YouTube live stream updates. If you want to take a read of it, Facebook is becoming meta, so they're just outright telling people what they're selling now. Pokimane is diversifying even further away from her successful makeup range. She's now also launched a talent management and brand consulting firm, right, which has a nice website. Reflect is no more, unsurprisingly. 2 weeks after it launches, or not even 2 weeks. Unsurprising. The snake oil is no more. The money laundering scam that's happening on Twitch at the moment, and the way in which they're doing it, they donate you a bunch of bits, you keep 30%, and give the rest back to them. Ubisoft says they want to be a major player, or one of the key players in regards to NFTs, play to earn, and blockchain in the gaming space. Boo. And then a great thread about why NFTs are harmful to games. That's the quick recap. That money laundering is not cool. No, it's not. How Twitch is going to stop it, though, will be interesting, though. How Twitch stops it is going to be interesting. Because there are some channels that have very big financial backers. You know, there's one particular channel I know in mind that survives on gifted subs from just a couple people in the community. It's not a big channel, but the person funds their lifestyle, or the streamer's lifestyle is ultimately funded predominantly by gifted subs through just a couple viewers. And in a few cases, those channels exist. It's not necessarily money laundering or bad actors. Some viewers who like a particular community just have a lot of money. And how does Twitch know the difference between that and actual money laundering taking place? You know a few too, which is really nice in a way. It's really nice. But how is Twitch going to be able to tell that where it's actually legitimate away from people who are money laundering? They can't? Not that we know of, right? Not that we know of. Anyway, yeah, it's very unlikely. So, be interesting. I guess if a particular channel is receiving a lot of bits and subs via payments that come up as fraudulent or reported as fraudulent eventually, but that's not necessarily the streamer's fault, is it? Or Twitch won't know that anyway. Twitch won't be able to tell. So yeah, that's the recap. I'm gonna have to go on a quick break and make myself another drink, and then I think we might have to move over to Graveyard Keeper. Good luck. Yeah, good luck to Twitch. The question will be, technically speaking, through the mechanism that is happening, it could happen over on YouTube as well. And Facebook as well, because Facebook has similar sort of monetization mechanisms as well. So there's no, there's no stopping the other platforms from also having the problem as well, I think. So yeah, like I say, I'm going to go on a quick break. Then we're going to jump into some Graveyard Keeper. Thank you very much for joining the stream talk. What will happen is I will cut up this VOD into all the chapters of the different subjects we talked about. Add all the reference to the links to the sites, the articles, the tweets, and all that sort of stuff that we talk about. Will go into the description. Will be referenced as part of it, and will be available for Coffee subscribers afterwards. Just one of the rewards for being a subscriber over on Coffee.